Very, very warm welcome to everyone who's here with us today, and all those who are watching online. Welcome into our fellowship service this afternoon. We're going to stand and sing our opening song together that you will find on the front of your songbook. Please join us.
I got you.
Cory, for that beautiful song that you gave to us, and you said last week we continue to give back to you. Beautiful song. Just a reminder that in your bulletin you have a connection card, and if you have someone or something or some condition that you would like us to pray as a community about, please write that on your card. There's a little pencil in your envelope, and we'll put that in the basket as it comes around, and we will include that in our prayer. So let's start with an opening meditation. This is our third week of celebrating fellowship and celebrating our 40th anniversary. And so this week's focus is on community. So I ask you to close your eyes and just let your shoulders drop. Bring your full self into the room, your body, mind, and spirit. And leave all the worries and the doing and the rushing. Just leave that outside for right now. we bring our full attention to the one divine presence. Our God, our source, whatever label for this magnificent universal force feels right to you. This loving presence that surrounds us and flows through us as us into this world. Now let's just be with love for a moment. Here in this room, we come together each Sunday. And today, let's fill our hearts with gratitude for our fellowship community, and each and every beautiful being that has ever been a part of this lovely community of like-minded souls. We fill our heart with gratitude for the opportunity to learn and grow together on our spiritual paths, surrounded by support and love. And we fill our hearts with gratitude for everyone here, everyone watching, everyone who will watch, and all the blessings that we have received from our fellowship community in the past, and all the blessings that will be in the future. We are devoted to this fellowship of love, and together we say, and so it is. And so it is. Thank you. We have some special music today from a very special fellowshipian. Let's give a warm welcome to Linda Abar.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to sing a song by Joni Mitchell, which is about fear being a wilderland, stepping stones, or sinking sand. And we can kind of choose sometimes. Since I decided to sing this song, I've been not in fear, and not in fear. So, it just is what it is, but it's a beautiful song. Daylight falls upon the path, the forest falls behind. Today I am not prey to dark uncertainties. The shadow trembles in its wrath, I've robbed its blackness blind, and tasted sunlight as my fears came clear to me. I think I understand. Fear is like a wildland, stepping stones or sinking sand. Now the way leads to the hills, above the steeples chime. Below me sleepy rooftops round the harbor. It's there I'll take my thirsty fill of friendship over wine, forgetting fear but never disregarding her. I think I understand. Fear is like a wilderness, stepping stones or sinking sand. Sometime voices in the night will call me back again, back along the pathway of a troubled mind. When a forest tries to block the light that keeps the traveler sane, I'll challenge them with flashes from a brighter time. I think I understand. Fear is like a wilderness, stepping stones or sinking sand.
Beautiful, Linda. Thank you so much. We're going to sing another fellowship song together. One of the old favorites and one that very clearly states what we're all about. On page 46, please stand and we'll sing We Are Here.
Maybe once I start singing it. We are here to be truly helpful. We are here to be truly helpful. When the thoughts held in mind, with the Spirit we're aligned. We are here to be truly helpful. We are here to realize our oneness. We are here to realize our oneness. There's the Christ in you and me, and in all humanity. We are here to realize our oneness. We are here to recognize the blessings. We are here to recognize the blessings. What we give, we will receive. What we dream, we can achieve. We are here to recognize the blessings. We are here to help each other awaken. We are here to help each other awaken. We've been sleeping for so long, so let's sing this little song. We are here to help each other awaken.
And now you can stay standing and greet your neighbor. hug or a handshake, whatever is comfortable with you.
Hi.
Good, how are you? I know you're working.
Love that part of service. So as I mentioned earlier, we're here this afternoon focusing on community, fellowship or otherwise, but of course mostly fellowship. And a term came to me in front of me the other day, and it's edge walkers. Have any of you ever heard that before? Edge walkers. And this is a term that was coined by Terry Tempest Williams about, she's in the Christian faith, but as you'll see, it applies to us as well. And edge walkers are those who don't follow the status quo. They don't follow the version of religion that they were handed or exposed to if it's not working for them. Edge walkers tend to walk the inside edges of a faith tradition that generally will tell you it's the only way. But like the mystics, walk the edges of these faith traditions. So I was thinking, wow, that reminds me so much of the fellowship, walking the edges, but not just of one faith tradition. Fellowship walks the edges of many, many faith traditions, finding commonality and finding what speaks to our hearts. And I would say that transformation always happens on the edges. Thinking back to our fellowship community and when it was initially founded, these were the edge walkers at the time. And there was so much courage and bravery. Bravery and courage to explore and think and do things differently. To expand consciousness and become ever more inclusive. We say here at the fellowship, everyone is welcome, and we mean it. It's not you're welcome, and then while you're here, we'll try to change you. It's you're welcome, just as you are, and we love you. Our fellowship also is courageous in that we turn away from victimhood and embrace our responsibility for the life experiences that we have. And that's not an easy thing to do. I think a lot of people find it so much easier to blame someone else for their situation, their conditions, their feelings. But here at the fellowship, we've learned over many years, through many workshops, through many teachings, that we have the power. And that's a good thing, because if we have the power, then we can change things. It's so, so important for a spiritual community to have the active participation of its members. And I see Sunday service as a spiritual practice, not just someplace that we show up on Sunday and listen to wonderful music and good messages and maybe feel uplifted and entertained somewhat, but it's a spiritual practice, and when we have to dig deep, we have to reach down and out to others in our community to grow and be loving toward each other. There are 168 hours in the week. Did you know that? And for 1 hour or thereabouts each week, our wonderful fellowship offers the opportunity for us to leave our ego outside the door and to turn within, to connect with our higher self, to learn how to navigate this life experience in joy and peace and love. We learn how to, if you remember, we told the story about used the story of the river so frequently, this river of love that flows through us. And sometimes there are rocks and obstacles inside ourselves that restrict that flow. Our fellowship, teachings, and community are all about how do we release those obstructions, those obstacles, and allow more love to flow through. And finally, and most importantly, I would say, we are here to have an experience of our God, our source, this magnificent power that's greater than ourselves, and to grow our connection with the source. When we are hurting or confused or afraid, our ego tells us to pull away, to withdraw. And it tells us to believe that we can only rely on ourselves. And we had this kind of forced withdrawal during the pandemic. 2 full years of fear and creating a habit of isolation and withdrawal. A habit that makes it seem easier to stay at home than to come here in community. But now that we're able to be in person, to meet in person, it's so important to remember that we benefit most by choosing community. We are healthier in community. We live longer in community. There are hugs waiting for you here. There's a quote from this book that I brought today called More Together Than Alone by Mark Nepo. And in this book he says about the pandemic years and post-pandemic years, so much depends on our awakening to reach out to each other or being lulled into watching snapshots of life stream by on a screen. So Mark Nepo asked the question, do we go it alone or make our way together? And we are always choosing. Do I go it alone or do I reach out and try to make my way with my community? It may take some stretching beyond our current comfort zones, for sure. But just know that we are here and we will be here for you. For those who have not returned on a regular basis, we want you to know that we are holding the space for you. You are loved and needed here. And for those who cannot return, we are holding the space for you, and we know that your spirit is with us here in our beloved community. Because in community, we are more together than alone. We are more. We have opportunities to live, love, and grow together in community. And it's just the best thing. I know I will never take for granted again after the pandemic not being able to be with this beautiful community. I remember some of those first weeks after coming back. Wasn't it so emotional? And the music sounded like extra, and seeing the people that we love so much around us, just the visual and the energy was just beyond, and I will never take that for granted again. So this afternoon we also wanted to take a few moments to acknowledge and thank some of the people in our community that really go above and beyond and have been doing so for years and years and years. And I'd first like to, if I could, ask Reverend Beth Monteith to join me up here. Surprise! So I'm going to cry. That's just going to be the thing. And I'm going to maybe read a little so that I can get everything out. There are almost no words needed. Beth's legacy of teaching and community building is huge and beyond compare. The light and love that emanates from this woman touches us all, has touched us, and still touches us all. So Beth, we'd like for you to just accept our deepest gratitude and love for all you have done for the fellowship over the many years and all that you will continue to do. And we'd like you to accept this little thank you.
I have to say that I have received more
I understand that.
than ever given. Thank you.
I also want to make sure that each and every one of you here and watching know that you are loved and needed by all of us, and that you each make such a difference to our community. There's just no doubt. Without you, there would be a hole. And it's just, I think, I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way. So please know that. I wanted to start by acknowledging also our steering committee members, two of which couldn't be here today. Jim Post and Barb Chrissy do so much. Barb wasn't feeling quite up to it today, so she's not here. But I'd like to ask Julie Dillon to please stand. Reverend Julie Dillon, please stand. Reverend Sue Quinn, please stand. Julia Friedge and Richard Lassen, please stand. These are your steering committee members working behind the scenes so hard to make everything work for the fellowship and to make sure that we go into these next 40 years in a thriving and flourishing community. Thank you very much. You may be seated. So now I'd like to ask Reverend Julie Dillon to please come up. Julie has been our steering committee president for a good number of years, and on the steering committee for many more prior to that. As you all know, she is a speaker here. She is a service leader here. She runs the Healing Movements class that is offered through the fellowship, and the Death Cafe, which is a more recent addition. And beyond that is just her loving heart. I mean, we've all felt it. We've all had a hug from her, and you can feel the love just penetrate you. So please give Julie a round of applause. So the next person I want to recognize is Samantha, and I know she will just not even want to come here, so I won't do that to her. But beyond her amazing work as our office administrator and our sound production person, she is so devoted to the fellowship. So completely devoted to the fellowship and all of its members. And we are so gifted by her creativity, her graphic artistry, and her talents. Because of her, we're able to reach a much larger audience than sits in this room. Because of her, we were able to video and send out all of our services for the 2 years that we were on lockdown or not doing them because of the pandemic. And that just kept us going. I mean, that could have really pulled the rug out from under us. But because of Samantha, we are still here, and you all saw beautiful services every Sunday during the pandemic. So let's give her... I wanted to recognize Reverend Deb Plipta as well, and she couldn't be with us today, so she got her card early. But I just wanted to note that a lot that she does is behind the scenes, and her generosity of donating fair trade and her crafts for fundraisers and for the alternative holiday sale. She's gifted us with crafting workshops, and beyond that, she has too a wonderful heart, and we are all inspired by her curious mind. She has a lot of questions, and that's okay here. And this loving heart that I mentioned. So let's give Deb an applause. I know she'll be watching me. And now I'd like to ask Reverend Barbara Kinsey to please come up. And she just said, oh my gosh. Come on up here. Barbara has gifted us and so much with her love of all things food. Yay! She has stepped up to provide delicious food for the SIVA teams before the pandemic, and now for potlucks and for our fundraiser dinners. She has such a deep concern for our health and well-being, everyone in here. And she is going to begin in October a healthy living class that I hope some of you will consider joining in and taking some of her wisdom and teachings to heart so that we can live a healthier life. And also I have to mention sharing her voice in choir and her lovely harmonies during our songs in service. And she even inspired me join in the choir a couple weeks ago. And I thought, oh my goodness, but she did it. Thank you. So let's give Barbara a really thank you. She has a beautiful heart. She has been with the fellowship for many, many years. She's devoted, and she comes to our services and to all of the activities we have, and that's how we grow in community. So thank you, Barbara. Thank you so much.
And I'm going to take credit for bringing Mary here.
So just a couple more. Julia Friedge, can you come up, please? I know she's going to grumble.
I also want to say, I think Beth was an original member.
Yes?
Was one of the founders,
Founders.
right?
An original Edgewalker.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you to Julia, because she has served for so many years on the steering committee. She's maybe taken a year or two off here or there, but I persuaded her to come back. And she just helps wherever she is needed and whenever she is needed. And I honestly, in my early years of being spiritual director, I don't know what I would have done without you. She has historical knowledge. She she's another one of those people who just dives in and helps. And that's needed in communities so much. So thank you so much, Julia. We love you so much. And here's the blessing. And now, probably also a surprise, I would like to invite Linda Abar to come up, please. Linda's such a beautiful person, and not only does she bless us with her beautiful voice and music, which is huge and so appreciated, she too came to the office during the pandemic years to videotape her music a lot, and so did Cory. We mentioned that last week, so that we all could enjoy the beautiful music that we were used to, and that wouldn't go by the wayside just because we're not meeting together. And so Samantha and I got to have the fun of visiting with her and having her come in, because we were just keeping the numbers as low. I mean, it was just Samantha and I, and we'd stay away from each other, keep our distance, and so on. But thank you for doing that. And I want Linda to know that she is so loved and appreciated, and that we all consider her part of our fellowship family. So let's give her. So as I said, everyone is so appreciated here, and we need you to be here. And we are more together than alone. So thank you very much.
Okay, and we sing together on page 35, our thoughts, our prayers. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers, take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there.
So this is the time in our service when we stop and fill our hearts with gratitude. For the generosity of all of our fellowship members. For all of the blessings and gifts we have received by being a part of this beloved community. So Richard is going to go around and pass the basket around. If you're giving your donation now, you can drop it in the basket. And also your connection card if you have a prayer request. And for all those who donate online or send their donation to the office, just hold your gift in consciousness if you would. And see the fellowship having its 50th anniversary celebration. So on your bulletin, there's the blessing of our tithes and offerings, and I invite you to read it with me. The light of divine love shines eternally, blessing and multiplying our tithes and offerings. I joyously give, knowing I always have enough to share and to spare. And so let's take a moment, too, to close our eyes once more and go within. We hold all those who are named in the basket this afternoon, all those that we hold dear in our hearts. And all those around the world who are experiencing trauma and are unsafe and hungry and who need protection. We add them all to our prayer this afternoon. And we see them through God's eyes, loved and whole and healthy, warm and safe. This is our affirmative prayer. And we join our energy together to manifest love, touching the hearts of all. And together we say, and so it is, and so it is. Thank you. We have one more fellowship song to sing together. It's very appropriate for today. It's on page 42. So if you would stand, please, and we'll sing together, We Are One Family.
We are one family, only one family, filling the universe with perfect light. Children of destiny, living in harmony. loving our unity, shining bright. Good times and bad times have come our way, bringing us home to the love in this day. This is a season of simple things, a time to rejoice in the homecoming dream. We are one family, only one family, filling the universe with perfect light. Children of destiny, living in harmony, loving our unity, shining bright. Searching and questioning, trying to find peace and contentment, a quiet mind. Seasons and passages that never end. Now is the moment, let peace begin. We are one family, only one family, filling the universe with perfect light. Children of destiny, living in harmony, loving our unity, shining bright, shining bright. We are one family, living light.
Please be seated.
Okay, y'all should remember this one. The whole, you're gonna sing with me. We are peace, we are love, we are one home. Does anyone need to go over that, or are you good?
We're good.
Okay, excellent. Illuminate the world, enlighten soul by soul. We can stop the fighting, one by one. We cannot stand to fight for, we must be the peace we seek. Shedding our illusions of what we ought to be. Here we go. We are peace, we are love, we are one. Oh, what glorious effort will it take to shift the tide? Dedication to discerning truth from lies, light to light to light. The truth does set us free. My heart to your hearts, yes, it's up to you and me. We are peace, we are love, we are one. We are peace, we are love, we are There's no separation, God, land, and sea. We are all related, soon we will believe. We are peace, we are love, we are one. Just keep it going. We are peace, we are love, we are one. We are peace, is what we want, it's what we need. Peace is what we want, it's what we need. You guys are the best.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed this service, and I hope you all did too. And I hope you see the connection, whether it's this community or another community. They're so important. I was watching a documentary about the blue zones around the world, where the people live over to 100 or more, and community was one of the most important aspects of their lives. So I have some announcements for you before we end today. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Thank you, virtual watchers, as well. Thank you to Craig for bringing these beautiful flowers again. Sunny, bright, and happy yellow flowers. Thank you. Sound Bath is scheduled for September 20th. That's a Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. In our fellowship office. And Potluck Sunday is next Sunday. It's our last Sunday to celebrate together for our 40th anniversary. And the focus will be spiritual nourishment. Do you get the connection? Potluck. So we would like for all of you to be thinking about something, some way, something, some lesson, some teaching that you have learned from the fellowship, gotten from the fellowship, that has helped you in your life, that has made an impact in your life. And we'd like to ask you to be brave enough to share that with us next week. I'm just giving you a little notice about that. What spiritual nourishment has fellowship provided? And then I need to ask Reverend Sue Quinn, are we on for the walk of October 1st?
Yes.
Yes. So at the Waldemar Nature Center at 12:30 p.m., we have the walk with Reverend Sue Quinn. That's really a wonderful, wonderful place, and you'll enjoy that, getting out in nature. Our class for the school is starting on the last Tuesday of the month, and I didn't write the date down here, darn, but it's the last Tuesday. We meet every Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock, and we're going to be studying the history of New Thought, how it's evolved. We talk about our fellowship community as a New Thought community. What does that really mean? What are the concepts and principles involved with New Thought, and our fellowship guiding principles as well. And I mentioned that we will be having special visitors. Some of our New Thought founders are going to be visiting us and talking about their lives and contributions in the form of Reverend Julie, Reverend Sue, and myself.
It's the 26th, Mayor.
26, possibly dressed in period clothes. So if you're interested in the class, please let me know as soon as possible so that I can factor in how many seats we need and who's going to be attending. That will be really helpful for us.
Is that at the fellowship office?
It's at the fellowship office, yes. And, hang on. we've been announcing each Sunday, but I want to do it again. There is a gathering to celebrate Rob Kurtner and celebration of life. He will be remembered for his wisdom and clarity and his smile. When he said, "Love is real, that's the deal." That will be taking place on Saturday, September 30th at 1:30 p.m. in the St. David's Episcopal Church, Great Hall, 1519 Elmwood Road in Lansing. And that also was in your e-announcements as well. So we'll send that out again, too. So I'd like to invite you all now to join in our peace circle, and we'll say our closing blessing.
Let this be the moment.